look, one thing I guess that I'm trying to keep quite consistent when I'm speaking to people on behalf of Sport Tech Daily. Look, the industry in Australia, obviously, when you compare it to other markets, we've got a long way to go, which I think is a positive. You know, there's a lot of room for growth. Do you think this sort of niche within daily fantasy sport, you know, because at the end of the day, you are looking at sport from a data and tech point of view, right? Do
Yep.
you think there's much sort of room to grow? And if you do, what areas do you think we might have some, I guess, expansion left in us?
Look, I definitely think there's room to grow, and I think that certainly the services that we add, as I said, we move from being a ranking site to being a data tool site to building tech in the form of a lineup builder and things like that. I think other sites are definitely evolving and doing more of that. There's now a couple of other sites in Australia that are doing some really good things and providing some really good tech. I think there is a player pool of obviously people that play Dream Team and Supercoach that can always come over and experience what we're going to do. I
Yeah,
think some of the big movements in the future are definitely going to be cross pooling with international markets. So Draft Stars is certainly and Moneyball as well have played and started to get into the Indian market space. I think when cricket becomes cross pooled and you've got hundreds and thousands of people playing not only in India and Australia, there's huge opportunities there to give more exposure to Big Bash, create more money to play for, get more recreational money in. On the flip side with AFL, there was 1 week of AFL this season and the exposure and the chat on Twitter from the US marketplace was insane.
yeah,
It was like a silver lining for the AFL to get that kind of exposure. There are going to be sites moving forward internationally that are going to start offering AFL, which means there's going to be more people overseas looking at it. I don't think the numbers will be huge, but there is going to be a substantial boost to the Australian pools that are currently going on. Means more people playing, more money to play for, it snowballs, and then suddenly you have more people wanting to play in Australia. If
right.
you want to come and play $10 and possibly win $2,000, great, that's a fantastic win and that's a nice little bit of money. But you look at some of these big contests that DraftKings have over in America where first prize is $1 million.
Yeah,
And Australia's number one player, JK123, won the Millionaire Maker earlier in the year
yeah.
and had just an insane three 4 weeks, won close to 2 million Australian dollars, won the Million
Wow.
Maker, won $250,000 another day. Suddenly, if you can sit there and pay your $10 or $15 and possibly win $1 million, that's going to draw a lot of people in. Even, as simple as the live final that Draft Stars are running, where, you can win a qualifying ticket for $2. You win a $2,000 or $2,500 seat that gives you a hotel and airfares, and then you come and play for $10,000 or $20,000.
Wow.
Those experiences and those things more or above and beyond the punting side of things is what recreational players want to do. It's the story that they can tell their friends at work. I spent $2. I won a ticket to this. I'm flying to Melbourne and I'm going to stay at Crown and I've got a chance to win $20,000 or
Yeah,
50,000 or whatever the number might be. They're the experiences that people want to do and the recreational players want to play. People that are semi-professional or play it full time, they're playing more for the money. They want the more games, more things to do. So pools growing will obviously help them as well. But pulling the recreational players into the pool to play, you've got to sell the dream to them.
yeah.
The chances are they're not going to win. But if you happen to run pure and you pick the right players, very similar like what with your State of Origin story, you have a good night and you win, fantastic. You cheer. And that's what people want to do.
Right, excellent. And look, obviously, you being in the industry at the moment, what type of skill sets? Obviously, if the industry keeps growing the next couple of years in Australia, what type of skill sets do you think would be most in demand? Is it the tech guys that you'd most likely need for a company like yours, or would it be people in marketing or business development? What areas do you see most expansion in?
Well, we're constantly growing all our areas. Like our data scientists, we've got 2 of them now that work, close to full time for us. We've got almost a full time tech guy that's certainly on call to deal with things and constantly building things. We've got a couple of guys that help us with marketing. Really, as you grow and develop and have more relationships with businesses and they want you to do more things that are outside the square, that's where you've got to leverage up those aspects of your business.
Right.
You can't sit idly on your hands. This is still a fairly niche market in Australia. There is not a huge pool, so you've got to be doing everything you can to be engaging those people and getting them to come and look at your site. You don't necessarily have to be giving them the TatsLotto numbers, but they need to be feeling that they're getting value out of what they're reading, whether that be for entertainment or enjoyment to help them with more money.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to check out more of our content, go to sporttechdaily.com or follow us on social media across Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram.